Moving on to seeds as an input, seed sector in India consists of two national level corporations, which is the National Seed Corporation and State Farms Corporation of India, 13 seed corporations, state seed corporations, and about 100 major seed companies. For quality control and certification, there are 22 state seed certification agencies and 101 state seed testing laboratories. The Seed Act of 1966 provides for legislative framework for regulation of quality seeds sold in country. In order to encourage the exports of seeds in the interest of farmers, the procedure for export of seeds has been simplified. Seeds of various crops have been placed under the open general license except the seeds of wild varieties, germ plasms, breeder seeds and onion seeds which are in restricted list under the export and import policy of 2002 to 87. Now, agricultural yield, which is the amount of crop produced in a given acreage of land, depends greatly on seed quality. For best yield, hybrid seeds must be replaced every year, and non hybrid yield seeds must be replaced every 3 years. However, seed replacement in India is less than optimum because new seeds are not affordable. High quality seeds are not easily available to all farmers. There is a limited research and development in the seed sector. For example, the research and investment by private companies remained at a meager 3 to 4% of the revenue compared to the international norms of 10 to 12%. There is a regulatory failure in preventing rampant illegal sale and planting of seeds. Therefore, in order to encourage the seed sector, government has approved 100% FDI in seed development. Now, other measures which can be taken to promote the seed sector include steps like strengthening and regulatory mechanisms, providing intellectual property rights, protection to new research development in this sector, establishing a robust third party quality certification system for seeds, and incentivizing private sector to form bankable schemes. Now, National Seed Policy of 2002 was launched to provide intellectual property protection to new varieties, usher this sector into plant development, protect the interests of farmers, and encourage conservation of biodiversity. The policy had the following thrust areas: varietal development and plant varieties protection, seed production, quality assurance, seed distribution and marketing, infrastructure facilities, transgenic plant varieties, import of seed and planting material, export of seeds, protection of domestic seeds. Now, the key initiatives announced is then in this policy where a plant variety and farmers' rights protection authority will be established, which will undertake registration of extant and new plant varieties. Now, a national gene fund will be established for the implementation of the benefit sharing agreement and payment of compensation to the village communities for their contribution to the development and conservation of plant genetic resources. The fund will also promote conservation and sustainable use of genetic resources. Plant genetic resource for food and agricultural crops will be permitted to access by research organizations and seed companies from the public collection as per the provisions of Material Transfer Agreement of the International Treaty on Plant Genetic Resources. Now, National Seed Board will be established in place of the existing Central Seed Committee and Central Seed Certification Board. Moving on to the National Seed Plan. The National Seed Plan was aimed at ensuring seed replacement rate of 25% for self-pollinated crops and 35% for cross-pollinated crops and 100% for hybrid for achieving high productivity. Now, the Draft Seed Bill of 2019, key provisions of the draft bill are as follows. It provides for the formation of a seed committee that will be responsible for the effective implementation of its provisions. All varieties of seeds for sale have to be registered and required to meet certain prescribed minimum standards. Licensing norms have been revised. Now there will be a differentiation between the seed producer, processor, and seed dealer for the purpose of licensing. Currently, a large percentage of seed is sold under self certification program called Truthfully Labeled Seeds. The certification process has been kept voluntary. The bill empowers government to fix prices of a selected varieties in case of emergent situations like seed shortages, monopolistic pricing, and profiteering, etc. Now, protection of plant varieties and Farmers' Right Act of 2001. India is a signatory to WTO in 1994 and was obligated under Article 27(3)(b) of the Agreement on Trade Related Aspects of Intellectual Property Rights (TRIPS) either to adopt a sui generis system of plant variety protection or join the Convention of International Union for Protection of New Varieties of Plant, that is UPOV. Now, the PPVFR Act, that is Protection of Plant Varieties and Farmers' Right Act of 2001, was enacted by adopting the sui generis system. The Indian Patent Act does not give patent to seed or plant varieties, but the Protection of Plant Varieties and Farmers' Right Act grants intellectual property rights to plant breeders, researchers, and farmers who have developed any new plant varieties. The aim of the Act is to establish an effective system for the protection of plant varieties, the right of the farmers and plant breeders, and to encourage the development of new varieties of plant. The Act establishes Protection of Plant Varieties and Farmers' Right Authority under Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers' Welfare. It also establishes Plant Variety Protection Appellate Tribunal, which shall dispose of appeal within 1 year and whose decision can be challenged in the High Court. Now, rights under the PPV and FR Act are as follows. Breeders' right. Breeders, that are the seed producers, will have exclusive right to produce, sell, market, distribute, import, or export the protected variety. Researchers' right. Researchers can use any of the registered variety under the Act for conducting an experiment or research. However, repeated use needs prior permission from registered breeders. Now, farmer's right. A farmer can save, use, sow, resow, exchange, share, or sell his farm's produce, including seed variety of a variety protected under the PPV FR Act of 2001. However, the farmer shall not be entitled to sell branded seeds of a variety protected under the PPV FR Act of 2001. There is also a provision for compensation to the farmers for non performance of variety. The farmer shall not be liable to pay any fee in any proceedings before the authority or registrar or the tribunal or the High Court under the Act. Now, moving on to seed banks and seed vaults. The core objective of a seed bank is to make available seeds for contingent situations, develop infrastructure for seed storage, and preserve the genetic diversity. Svalbard's Global Seed Vault, located in Norway, is a state of art seed protection facility famously called as Doomsday or Apocalypse Seed Bank, or the Noah's Ark for seeds. India's Seed Vault is located at Changla, Ladakh. It has been built jointly by the Defense Institute of High Altitude Research, DIHAR, and the National Bureau of Plant Genetic Resources, NBPGR, under the aegis of DRDO. Now, Seed Village. As per the new seed policy of 2002, the Seed Village scheme will be promoted to facilitate production and timely availability of seeds of desired crops varieties at local level. Groups of farmers in a village are given training to produce seeds of various crops so that they can fulfill seed demands of their own and neighboring villages. Now, Green Revolution and seeds. Green Revolution refers to the large increase in the food production with the help of HYV seeds, that is, the high yielding variety seeds of hybrid seeds. MS Swaminathan was the man behind the revolution. It strengthened the agricultural research and technology that helped to increase agricultural productivity in developing nations. The first phase of the Green Revolution was started in the mid 1960s and ended in 1970s, mid of 1970s. Two semi-dwarf wheat varieties of Mexican origin, namely Lerma Rajo and Sonoro 64, were released for cultivation in irrigated areas. These varieties resulted in high yields and brought about a wheat revolution in India. In this time phase, the application of HYV seeds were limited to states like Punjab, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, etc., and mainly benefited wheat production. The second phase of Green Revolution was started in 1970s and ended in 1980. The HYV seeds got a nationwide extension and most of the crops were benefited. Green Revolution has several positive impacts like production and productivity have increased, agricultural exports from India have expanded, the employment generation in agricultural sector also increased due to adoption of new technology. New technology and modernization of agriculture have strengthened the linkages between agriculture and industry. It has helped create numerous strains of plants that are resistant to pests and diseases. It makes farmers more secured financially. However, there has been several disadvantages of the green revolution, like the hybrid crops have created environmental impact like soil pollution, water pollution, etc., due to excessive fertilizer and pesticides needed by these crops. Now, increased production of rice and wheat as a result of the revolution led to overexploitation of groundwater, as such crops are water demanding in nature. Increase in productivity of crops like rice has led to more subtle burning generated, which has to be burned before planting new crops. This has created the crisis of air pollution in the northern regions. There has been displacement of agricultural laborers by extensive use of agricultural machinery and left them unemployed. Green revolution increased the demand for agricultural credit as huge investment was required for acquiring new technologies. Now, poor farmers were thus put at a disadvantage as they were not able to get the loans easily. The application of HYV seeds was limited to certain states, and that is why other states missed the benefit of modern technology. The benefit of large farmer was higher than small and marginal farmers, as large farmers had the necessary capital required to invest in the new technology. Now, biofortification is the idea of breeding crops to increase the nutritional value. This can be done either through conventional selective breeding or through genetic engineering. Golden rice is a genetically modified variety of rice developed by Philippines based International Rice Research Institute. The presence of beta carotene pigment in the rice is reason for its golden color. Golden rice has been developed to fight vitamin A deficiencies in humans. The government introduced Green Revolution Krishnayoti Yojana in 2005 to boost the agricultural sector. It comprises of 11 schemes and missions under a single umbrella scheme of Mission for Integrated. So the 11 schemes. So the first submission is Mission for Integrated Development of Horticulture. It is to promote the growth of horticulture sector, enhance horticulture production, improve nutritional security, provide income support to farm households. National Food Security Mission, that is National Mission on Oil Seeds and Oil Palms, NOPAM, was merged under the National Food Security Mission. Its objective is to increase the production of rice, wheat, pulses, coarse cereals, commercial crops through an area expansion and productivity enhancement. Restore soil fertility and productivity at individual farm level, enhance farm level economy, augment the availability of vegetable oils, reduce the import of edible oils. Now, National Mission for Sustainable Agriculture is supposed to promote sustainable agriculture best suited to the specific agroecology, promote integrated farming, ensure appropriate soil management, synergize resource conservation technology. Now, submission on agriculture extension, strengthen the ongoing extension mechanism of the state government and local bodies, etc., achieve food and nutritional security and socio-economic empowerment of farmers, institutionalize program planning and implementation mechanism, forge effective linkage and synergy amongst various stakeholders, support HRD interventions, promote pervasive and innovative use of electronic and print media, interpersonal communication, and ICT tools, etc. Now, submission on seeds and planting material. Increase the production of certified quality seeds, increase seed replacement ratio, upgrade the quality of farm saved seed, strengthen the seed multiplication chain, promote new technologies and methodologies used in seed production, processing, and testing, etc. Strengthen and modernize infrastructure for seed production, storage, certification, and quality, etc. Now, submission on agricultural mechanization. Increase the reach of farm mechanization to small and marginal farmers and to regions where power availability is low. Promote custom hiring centers to offset the adverse economies of scale arising due to small land holdings and high cost of individual ownership. Create hubs for high tech and high value farm equipments. Create awareness among stakeholders through demonstration and capacity building activities. Ensure performance testing and certification at designated testing centers located all over the country. Now, submission on plant protection and plant quarantine. It is to minimize loss to the quality and yield of agricultural crop from ravages of insects, pests, diseases, weeds, nematodes, rodents, etc. Now, shield our agricultural biosecurity from incursions and spread of alien species. Facilitate export of Indian agricultural commodities to the global market. Promote agricultural practices, particularly with respect to plant protection strategies. Now, integrated scheme on agricultural census, economies, and statistics is supposed to undertake agriculture census and study the cost of cultivation of principal crops, undertake research studies on agroeconomic problems in the country, fund conferences, workshops, and seminars involving eminent economists, agricultural scientists, and experts to bring out papers to conduct short term studies, improve agricultural statistics methodology, and create a hierarchical information system on crop condition from sowing to harvest. Integrated scheme on agricultural uh, cooperation. So provide financial assistance for improving economic condition of cooperatives, remove regional imbalances, and to speed up cooperative development in agriculture, marketing, processing, storage, and computerization, and weaker section programs. Now help cotton growers fetch remunerative price for the produce through value addition, besides ensuring supply of quality yarns as reasonable rates to decentralize weavers. Integrated scheme on agricultural marketing, that is ISAM, to develop agricultural marketing infrastructure, promote innovative and latest technologies and competitive alternatives in agricultural marketing, provide infrastructure facilities for grading, standardization, quality certification of agricultural produce, establish a nationwide marketing information network, and it also wants to integrate markets through a common online market platform to facilitate pan India trade in agricultural commodities, etc. Now, moving on to the National E-Governance Plan, it it wants to bring farmer centricity and service orientation to programs, enhance the reach and impact of extension services, improve access of farmers to information and services through crop cycle, build upon and enhance integrate the existing ICT initiatives of center and states, enhance efficiency and effectiveness of programs through making available timely and relevant informations to the farmers for increasing their agricultural productivity. Now, the need for a second green revolution. India needs a second green revolution due to the following reasons: to address the food and nutritional demands of a growing population, thus ensuring food security; to increase the agricultural growth rate, which has become stagnant; to increase the agricultural productivity in light of climate change and associated extreme events like droughts; to support our rural population who are mainly dependent on agriculture; to bring about an agricultural transformation in eastern India, which is yet to benefit from the first green revolution; to ensure high agricultural productivity in rain fed areas, which have a high contribution to our country's total food production, unlike the first green revolution, which benefited mainly the irrigated areas; to ensure the mistakes from the first green revolution, like polluted groundwaters, overuse of fertilizers, etc., are not repeated, and environmentally sustain and keep environmental sustainability in mind. In order to make second green revolution success, the following steps can be undertaken. Sustainable agricultural practices needs to be followed, like organic farming, zero budget farming, etc., natural farming, etc. Now, keeping climate change in mind, drought resistant, flood resistant, and salinity tolerant crops needs to be cultivated. For example, the Pokali rice grown along the coastal Kerala is a traditionally salt tolerant variety. Expansion of agricultural credit is needed so that the farmers could invest in agricultural mechanization. Precision agriculture needs to be encouraged. For example, drones can be used to spray pesticides and fertilizers. Soil health should be measured so that the agricultural inputs are provided based on the soil condition, etc. Now, expansion of irrigation network should be done so as to reduce dependency on monsoons, which is highly uncertain. Now, training activities should be undertaken for farmers to make them aware of the best agricultural practices. Now, evergreen revolution refers to the productivity improvement in perpetuity without ecological and social harms. The evergreen revolution involves integration of ecological principles in technology development and dissemination. It focuses sharply on producing more from less and with lower use of water and at reduced overall cost. This may be possible by integrating traditional systems of farming with modern and scientific ways of agriculture. The use of chemical fertilizer should be strictly need based as determined by the requirements of the crops and land fertility. Now, these are the some points that we need to keep in mind for moving from the green revolution to evergreen revolution. Now, generation and adoption and transfer of scientific knowledge, dialogue, and establishing a common language between scientists and farmers. Professionalization with multidisciplinary education in sustainable development for undergraduate and graduate student farmers and stakeholders with lower education levels in higher education in universities and research centers. Now, for green revolution, it was monocultures. For evergreen revolution, we need to move to mono and polycultures. Deforestation and land use change was a result of green revolution. Here, we need to use precision agricultural tools. Now, farmers' traditional slash and burn agriculture was in. I think you can pause and just read the material. That'll be it.